Good morning and evening to everyone. I am Isha Saluja and I welcome you all to today's Satsang session with Shri Ashish. So, as our customary ways goes, let's take 15 minutes of silence to embrace our inner reflection. And after this period of quiet contemplation, in case anyone has any particular question to discuss and explore, do not hesitate to share it with the group. So, to begin with the session, I would like to invite Shri Ashish to guide us forward.
Namaskar, everybody. Pete, I know you've written a text. Is your sound working?
Yeah, it's working now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Also, can everybody during this time mute yourselves as well as Pete? I know your video is on. If you want to keep it on, that's fine. If you want to switch off your video, that's fine too. So we will start. I think we have a very small group today. So I think everybody is aware of how we sit in silence. So we'll do a 15 minutes of silence. Isha, can you keep the clock?
Sure. So we're now through with 15 minutes in silence. We shall gradually resume with the discussion.
Let's give everybody a minute to come out of silence, come out slowly. How's everybody feeling? Good? Okay. So today we have a very small group, and I think the majority of the group is from Chicago. So I think in our last session, what I want to do today is from our last session when we ended, I think there was some confusion or I would say, a difference in opinion and understanding on the doership or the duality or the non-duality side of the debate, which then carried on, I think, over text messages in our Chicago group. Malini, I don't remember if if you participated in the last satsang. Were you there?
No, I
No.
did not.
So just to put thing in context for you, we had discussed in the last session about the threefold path, and at the end of the session, there was this kind of debate about the doership aspect, where one person's belief was that look, we still need to do the work, and the other person's belief was look, both the work and the outcome of the work is not in our hands, whereas one person said look, the work still we have to do, the outcome is not in our hands. So I think it's important for, and then this discussion went on online, Malini. It was you're not part of the Chicago WhatsApp group, but it then
Okay.
kind of went back and forth, with between both Anil and Srinivas, kind of um, putting their points forward. So I think it's so both Anil and Srinivas. First of all, few things. Whenever you guys quote a text, especially a scriptural text, it should not be quoted lightly, first of all. Second is that when it's quoted, any scriptural or spiritual book which is discussing the relevance of reality or explaining what existence is, or the meaning of how this whole thing has come to be, must be read in its entirety and explained from the viewpoint of what is the underlying message and essence of that book in its entirety. Because when you tend to quote certain shlokas or aspects of the book, then you've only taken out certain parts of that book to kind of explain or put forward your viewpoint, which may or may not be correct, which is what organized religion has done over the years, where they've taken the various teachings and kind of interpreted or only explained those parts which suited their agenda. So in the end, what happens is that the entire meaning or the essence is lost because people tend to then just focus on that shlok. So just keep that in mind going forward, that if you ever tend to, explain or quote certain things out of a book, you must look for the meaning of its entirety and then take that understanding of what the entire book is trying to say in its complete, in its completion, and then try and implement that understanding in your lives. Now, I think it's important. I think where we are all still, I think everybody's still stuck on is the confusion, I think, is on non-duality and duality, and where, in what stage um, do we look or do we perceive this duality or non-duality from? And I think let me try and see if I can explain this better or more simpler so that people can understand. And then I think you guys can ask further questions. So I think there is no confusion on reality, right? We all, I think now, at least this group, I think has accepted that the base of creation or reality, as we call it, is something which is indescribable, and what all scriptures and all masters um, have, which has been my experience as well, have explained it to be. So just pointers, nothingness or emptiness. Some have called it absolute, some call it Parabrahman, but these are all synonyms for reality or the base of existence. From this reality or from this nothingness, something has appeared to be there, right? Um, so out of nothingness, something has come. So the analogy for understanding this piece, where from nothingness something appears to have appeared, is of two things. One is the snake and rope analogy, and one analogy is the water that appears in the mirage. Now, from far, there is a rope. The analogy says that there is a rope, but from far it looks like a snake. Until the belief and the illusion is there that it is a snake, um, it does not appear to be the rope. Till that illusion is broken, that, it's not a snake, the rope appears. And it was never the snake. It only appeared to be the snake. The same way, the water in a mirage only appears to be there, but in reality, the water is actually not there. But having said that, the illusion has appeared. The appearance of a water within that mirage has appeared in some way. So then we come to the next point is, how has it appeared? And in order for anything to appear, three things are needed, right? One, the subject. That means something that is seeing the appearance. The process or the tools, instruments of um, making or making that appearance happen. And the third is the object, which is what has appeared. So if you have these three, and these three are always needed. You need, even if you're imagining something, you need the, the imaginer, the tools of imagination or imagining, and finally what has been imagined. The debate of non-dual philosophy and dual philosophy does not arise when in reality. Because when the base or reality that we call is nothingness, it is not asking these questions, it is not imagining anything. There's something has appeared within this reality, right? So that means that as long as the imaginer, the process of imagination or imagining, and the imagine appears to be there, the illusion is there. So where the confusion lies is that the imaginer has started to believe that it is the imagined. This is the false identification. Now, the imaginer is in non-dualism is common, right? That means non-dualism philosophy says that the imaginer, which we call I am or I, is this common for all. And dualism says that this imaginer is different for all. That means it's many. And that is the only debate. The imagined, which is the object, which is could be, you know, inanimate, could be a table, could be, earth, could be, a being, could be tree, could be animals, could be human beings. These are just different things that have been imagined. And the tools or the modes of expressing these things that are imagined, nothing. It's your mind, which in the last conversation or in the text, Anil had mentioned it was the rational mind or the body. These are all just instruments for expressing the imaginer, expressing its imagination into what is being imagined. So individuality or the character or personality is nothing but something that is being imagined. So now the question that I had for Anil and Srinivas is that, do you believe that the imaginer, in this case, in your case, is common for all, or is it different for all? Anil, Srinivas?
Could you please repeat the question? Imaginer.
So the difference is, so again, Pete, you have a subject, right? The subject, then there is a process for the subject to be able to imagine. So let's say the subject is the imaginer, right?
Yeah.
The I. Now this I is imagining something, right?
Yes.
Imagined it to be, whatever it's imagining.
Uh-huh.
The subject and the object, and then there is a process of imagining something.
Tool that
right?
comes.
The tools, the instrument.
Yeah. Right.
Now, is the I common? Is one? The non-dualism says that this I, which is imagining all of these things, is common to all. Whereas in duality, the dual philosophy, right? Because there are two philosophies. One is the non-dual philosophy and one is the dual philosophy. Now, in reality, it makes no difference. To reality, there is neither duality nor non-duality. Because reality is nothingness. It's the base of existence. Remember the plain piece of paper, Pete?
Right.
Blank piece of paper? The blank piece of paper is not asking any questions. It's silent. It's just blank. It's nothing. The only time questions start arising is that there seems to be an appearance of a subject and object relationship. This is this relative reality that has appeared to be there. The object and the subject are in relation to each other. Now, where the debate of this entire philosophical world between the scholars of non-dualism and the scholars of dualism is that this I, which was the first kind of thought, as we call it, or I am, in some call it I am and some call it I, same thing. This imaginer in non-dualism says that this is one for all. It's the same. There's only one thing that is imagining. You can call it God. Whereas dualism says that this imaginer is actually broken down into many.
Guruji, what I think I thought in my mind is when we use a candle to light many other candles or anything, the lighting process is the same. So, as you said, I appears to be the same for everyone because from I, if we take out body and rational mind, I'm coming in a mathematical way. From I, everyone has a body and mind because of the experiences they had from birth to a point. So from the I, if we take out body and mind, rest is the same for everyone. Um, so it looks like is one single thing.
Right?
Yeah.
So if it is one single thing, Srinivas, which is non-dualism, then where does the question of you doing the work or Anil doing the work or anybody else doing the work come from? Is it relevant? Because if the I is common, then everything else is nothing but a expression of this I in different forms and names.
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
if it is just an expression of this I, then there is no individual per se existence, right? Separate. Because this I is in control of all its forms of expression.
But when it is attached to the body and mind, the subjective experience is different. Means
So
when we are in the body and mind, we are feeling different, right?
because now body and mind are nothing but tools of expressing. They are not what is being expressed. What is being expressed is a individual or your individuality, your personality,
Yes.
right? Matter is inert. So it's just the tool that is being used. Now, this tool, which is body, right? Every object consists of your five elements. Every object is either it will be five elements, it will be a combination of the elements, some will be more, some will be less. But eventually, the thing that is being expressed is a character, is a personality, whether it is inanimate or animate, whether it is, part of, whether it is tree or whether it is an animal, whether it is a human being, nothing. These are just combinations of what the five elements have, plus governed by the three qualities of nature. This is the combination, right? But all of this is expressing a quality or a character. The body and mind are is irrelevant. It can keep changing. But who is it? The question that the real question to ask here that who is it changing for? The
For the
character
I.
at the end, right? So the character at the end, which is where the misunderstanding or the misconception is. The character at the end, which is what has been imagined or expressed as your individuality or the character, has no locus standi. Because what is common and in control is the imaginer.
Yes. But
Imaginer
what's the
decides
purpose
how
then?
every yes, the
What
imaginer
is the
decides how everything is being imagined and played out.
yes, sir, Guruji. But what is the purpose in all this then?
No, Papa, who's asking this question? Who's asking the question, what is the purpose?
Uh,
Reality, which is the base of existence, is not asking any question because there's nothing going on there. Remember, this is only an appearance. When the illusion breaks, awakening happens. And when awakening happens, the illusion breaks.
yes, I think that's the step that we miss, and you are mm, the enlightened there,
So that's,
Guruji.
yeah. So constant remembrance of this is the practice. Because you tend to get entangled and get to identify, you start identifying constantly with what is being imagined. You tend to forget your original state of being. And the practice of whether it is self inquiry or surrender, right, is to keep remembering, is to keep remembering and abiding in that remembrance. So, first, remember when we discussed last satsang session, the threefold path, which is understanding, is nothing but to understand and remember. To remember what is real and unreal. Anything that is imagined is false, and anything that is unimaginable is true. Whatever is imaginable is false. Whatever is unimaginable is true. So if you constantly remember where your starting point was, which was absolute, which is base of existence, and you remember that everything is just an appearance on this base of existence, then your non-attachment starts. This is where Adi Shankaracharya's discrimination, your Viveka Chudamani comes in. His thing was Advaita discriminate between what is real and unreal. And by this discrimination, as you discriminate more and more, non-attachment starts. Non-attachment to everything. Eventually, even non-attachment to your I. Because even that I that has appeared is also illusionary. So the I exists only till the object exists. The subject's dependencies on the object and the object's dependencies on the subject. Whereas reality is separate from any subject object relationship. And we are all that reality. Everything else is just an expression of an appearance. And the debate on non dualism and dualism is only at the level of the appearance. There is no debate whatsoever, no questions. It's absolute silence in reality. Your starting point is absolute silence, nothing going on.
When we go to a movie, what is the meaning of going to the movie, Guruji? We want to watch something playing on the screen and feel the emotions. Um,
So, so hold on, let me hold you there. What is the main purpose of going to the movie? For entertainment?
experiencing emotions.
No, I think it's for entertainment, right? Why do you go watch a movie? You go watch a movie for entertainment.
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Because now, like when you go into the movie, you don't know what the movie is about, right? You may have seen a trailer, you know something about it, but you're saying, look, this will be an entertaining movie, right? So you're going there. Now, why you have emotions? Because you identify with the movie. So your identification with the movie is why the emotions happen. The emotions are not happening because before you go to the movie. It's only because you've identified with the movie, hence your roller coaster happens with the movie. But when you come out of the movie, you know it was purely entertaining. So the
Yes.
same way, life, when you ask this question, what is the purpose of creating this? It's for entertainment purpose only. It's just mental entertainment. So if you can live your life, if you can do everything in your life with that remembrance that this is purely entertainment and nothing else but entertainment. It's a movie, it's a dream, but it is dream being created for entertainment. Now, you may say, but there is so much suffering, how can it be entertaining? Now, when you go to the movie, if the movie is just plain, everything is just one and the same. Every time you go in and you see Shah Rukh Khan, just talking about love and nothing else but love, then after a couple of movies, they're going to say, look, now I know what I'm going to expect in there. I'm not going to go because it's going to be boring. So, what are you looking for in a movie? There should be some drama, there should be comedy, there should be tragedy, there should be, maybe, if it's a murder, there should be some murder, right? So, these are all different things that you want for entertainment, but they are not real. They are played out. It's the same way with life. It's not real. Whatever is happening in the world is just an appearance. It's for entertainment purpose, whether good or bad. That also classification of good and bad has been provided as a mental concept from the witness, the ultimate witness. As far as the ultimate witness is concerned, something has appeared which is entertainment. This witness knows that whatever is happening is not real. It only appears to be there. In reality, it's not there. And this is the difference between somebody who is awakened and who is not.
Yes. Makes sense. Yeah.
So if you can lead your life with this remembrance without being entangled, this is why I keep telling people. People say, how should we lead our life? Live your life fully immersed, but not be attached. Fully involved, but not be entangled. If you live without analyzing, without making things, without making things happen, without trying to figure things out, if you let go of what has come, what has passed, if you forget about what will come, if you live in the present moment, and that moment also keeps changing constantly. So stop worrying about it. Then life is it's free.
Yes. Yeah.
And then if you can understand non-duality to its very core, that the I, which is expressing itself in everybody the same way, that the I is common, then where is the division? This side and that side are just two different forms of expression, but the underlying I is one and the same. So whatever you are intending to do to the other person, you're doing to yourself. So then this division also goes away, which then comes with that freedom comes unconditionality. Then why there is conditioning that so and so should be given so and so, I should love so and so, I should be kind to so and so because he's so and so. No, just be loving and kind. Because then this differentiation of I am this and I am that and he is that has gone away. Because the underlying commonality is one and the same.
One step back, it is the two highly philosophical thoughts. Uh, Earlier, you mentioned duality and non-duality is only up to what extent?
Is only when within the illusion, only with the appearance of the I,
Uh-huh.
right? The thought of I, which we call ahamvriti, only with the appearance of this I or I am, right? Which is
Uh-huh.
the starting point. Does everything else come? This I or I am on its own has no relevance. The only time this I or I am have relevance that it is attached to something, which is your relative reality. See, the relevance of a subject is only there as long as the object is there.
Right.
And the relevance of the object is only there till a subject is there,
Right.
right?
Uh-huh.
A subject without an object has no relevance, and an object without a subject has no existence.
Right.
So, this question of duality and non duality only arises when the appearance of an I arises.
Yeah. If that I is removed, there is no subject and object both.
That's it. So, in reality, there is no I.
Okay.
On a blank piece of paper, it's only blank piece of paper.
I see. Uh-huh. Uh, Need more thinking to digest it.
Yes. Now, the
Also,
question, the debate between philosophers and scholars is what is this I? Is this I separate? That means for each being, this is a separate I, or there
uh-huh.
is a common I.
Uh-huh.
That is the difference between non dualism and dualism. Your body and your mind, these are only tools of expressions. They're only expressing
Yes.
an individual, in an individuality or a character or a
Right.
personality. That
Uh-huh.
personality is defined by the combination of the elements and the qualities of nature, which is your sattvic, tamasic, and rajasic.
Uh-huh.
A combination of these eight things creates a personality or a character, whether it be a human in human form, whether it be an animal, whether it be tree, whether it be stone. Everything comprises of a combination of these things. But those are all things that are imagined. Those are all things that have been expressed
Right.
by either one eye or by many eyes.
Uh-huh.
So the point of debate is at here. Now, if you say it's a common eye, then the question of free will, the question of karma, that is all lost its relevance.
Yeah.
Whose karma is it? If there is only one I, which you can call the God,
Uh-huh.
then this God, which is manifesting in different forms and shapes, where is the question of individual free will or karma?
Right.
And if you believe that this I is broken into it, then yes, then there is relevance of
Right. Right.
right. There is free will, there is karma. So the question arises: if you believe in Advaita,
Uh-huh.
then there is no question and debate of I have the will to do work and I will go and do work, and if I don't do work, then everything else will stop. You have no free will. The free will has no existence here.
So if we take out the I, then result is unification.
Then yes, illumination is nothing but complete dissolution of the I.
Yeah.
And along with the dissolution of the I, because the subject now dissolves, everything else connected with that subject also dissolves.
Uh-huh.
Because without the subject, there is
Right.
no object.
So ultimate truth is the unification.
The
Uh,
ultimate truth is that there was never any creation of the I, and hence there is no dissolution of the I.
okay. There's no creation. Oh, that is also imagined. If it is created in
Yes,
our mind,
correct.
it is
Yes,
imagined. Okay,
correct.
okay.
Because the
No,
blank piece of paper was always blank piece of paper.
right.
Everything just appeared to have appeared there.
Okay. Good. And another thing you mentioned, life. Uh, live a life fully immersed but not attached.
Correct.
That sentence needs little more explanation, and it looks to be a very beautiful sentence. Live a life fully immersed means one
So
part
be so what that means is be in that moment and only in that moment, fully immersed in that moment.
at that
What
moment.
happened in just that moment?
Okay, okay, okay. And but not attached.
Not attached. Because that moment is fleeting.
Okay.
It will change in the next moment.
As Srinivas mentioned, example of movie, at that moment when you are in the movie, be attached.
Be with that moment, like you go with it, right?
Yeah.
That's what you mean. Go with the flow. Like don't try to defy or say what it is. This is not that. It should be like this. Should be like that. Accept it what it is and go with the flow.
That's
Yeah.
it. So when you go watch a movie,
Mhm.
you are just watching the movie. You don't know what's going to happen next,
Right.
but you enjoy it. You enjoy every moment, whether it was tragedy, whether it was drama, whether it was comedy. You enjoyed the movie to its fullest extent.
Right.
But when you come out of it, you're not attached to the
Not
movie. You
attached.
forgot.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot of practical sense in the real world. These are the word of wisdom, actually.
It is. I think this is a core philosophy. Like people should accept it what it is. Not saying if this should have happened, that should have happened.
Yeah.
Like don't try to analyze, think too much, or just pretend like as if you're part of it, like you're in a 3D dimension.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Or
it. There's
in
no
a part.
analysis to be done. Nothing. Because your character
Uh-huh.
of whether it's Pete. I'm sorry, I don't know the other person's name, Pete, who's with
Gaurav.
Gaurav is my son.
Gaurav.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, Gaurav.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Pete and Gaurav, because Pete and Gaurav are just characters in the script as well.
Yeah.
Because you are the I, right? You are
Right.
watching it, you're imagining you're watching it from the eye. You're actually, and not even the eye, you're actually the ultimate witness.
Right. Right. Right.
So you're just watching things as a witness to the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Non-judgmental, we call it the non-judgmental observer.
In context with this, I felt one thought came in my mind. The beauty of the life is to be immersed during that time. Afterwards, get detached.
Yeah, even
Yeah. Is
your
that
non-attachment should be the only way you can be fully immersed if you're
yeah,
non-attached to that moment.
right? Oh, I see. If you are not attached fully, then we'll be immersed.
You will be if you're non-attached, or
Uh-huh.
if you're attached, you will be immersed, because then you will, based on what is happening, you will fluctuate.
Right. Uh-huh.
And not only are you non-attached to that moment, you're non-attached to everything that is in relation to that moment.
Mhm.
It's not easy. I know, Pete, it's not easy.
Yeah, these are the two highly philosophical thoughts. But deeper we go, probably we get to know more in detail in that context. But the
Yeah.
starting point is okay. You presented this one itself is a big thing for us to digest it. But I think in over a period of time, we might adjust it in 1 or 2 sessions more. Okay.
Remember,
Alright.
you're not Pete.
Uh-huh.
You're the absolute.
Uh-huh.
You're not Gaurav. You're the
Uh-huh.
absolute.
Right, absolutely the ultimate actually. Okay, yeah, I made a note of it. Absolutely, yeah.
Because there's nothing else going on. Everything else is just an appearance on this absolute.
Uh-huh.
Guruji, I have one question. As you enter the meditative state and deep meditation, what you experience, because I don't have such ability.
So the experience is what happens. You separate out. Srinivas, you will actually see this like exactly the way you watch a movie. Awakening is it's not only a intellectual understanding.
Right, right,
Awakening is actually knowing, experiencing the experience
right,
in its truest sense. That means that everything else has dissolved. The only thing that remains is the experience. Even the experiencer is dissolved. Because as long as there is an experiencer, there is duality. So this is what I was trying to explain to Anil the other day, that even awareness in reality is not there.
Could you repeat that? Awakening is what?
So
It,
awakening is actually knowing. It's not only an intellectual understanding.
oh, it is not intellectual understanding.
No, it's
Okay,
knowing. It's knowing just the way you know that, when you pick up a piece of pen or when you
uh-huh.
pick up a pen, you know it's a pen. You're
Right,
certain that it is a pen and nothing else but a pen.
right.
So awakening is not an intellectual exercise. Awakening is truly knowing. There is a separation that really, literally, that's what it
So,
means. That means that you are here and this thing you can see is a movie, is imaginary.
uh-huh. So there are the two words it came, knowing and intellectual exercise. These are the two words. So the awakening, if it is only knowing, means at a primary level, or maybe at a what the better word is that at a superficial uh, understanding. But
Yeah, so
intellectual exercise,
Pete, today,
maybe
Pete,
uh,
to give you an example, you don't question your existence, do you?
no,
Do you ever question that you are Pete?
no,
You just know that you're Pete.
right.
You question everything else.
Yeah,
But naturally, you do not question ever
yeah,
that you are Pete.
correct. Yeah,
So
that's right.
awakening is the same way, that you know that you are absolute, you're Parabrahman.
Uh-huh.
So it's no more an intellectual exercise of reading and knowing and trying to figure out that you are the absolute, like we are doing now.
Uh-huh.
This is your first step. You're at your first step where you are understanding what this all means,
Uh-huh.
what reality means. Your second step would be to now take this understanding and put it in practice, whether it is
Okay.
through self inquiry or surrender, threefold path, whatever you want to choose, right? Your
Uh-huh.
methods of taking this understanding and putting into practice.
Uh-huh.
From that practice, what happens is there is a direct experience. Eventually, there is a realization or knowing, no more understanding, but knowing, you know, that it is what it is. And then that realization that, that you are in, that you abide in for 24/7,
Uh-huh.
eventually you even transcend that. So then at that point,
Mhm.
you're only manifesting what really is. Even in form, the expression of your form is only manifesting the truth, nothing else
Mhm.
but the truth. There is no more contamination
In
of
between
subject and object relationship.
object. Okay.
So the masters like Ramanna
Mhm.
and Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, Buddha,
Mhm.
they were all manifesting. They were all expressing reality as is, without any contamination or conditioning.
Condition. Okay.
So it is
So,
expressed in its purity. There are no more impurities left.
so in short, intellectual exercise is expression of reality.
That is correct. An intellectual exercise is only there to take you to a certain point, but it's also it's also an expression of reality.
Okay.
So Ramanna has a quote: everything is the self. When limited, it is the ego. When unlimited, it is the infinite. This is the final truth.
Okay. So now what we need to do is practice to learn how to do
Correct.
intellectual exercise.
That is correct. So most people get lost at the practice level. They come in, they hear, they sit, they listen, whether they've read it through, whether they do it through reading,
Mhm.
either reading scriptures, whether they find a guru,
Mhm.
they listen. Again, guru must be one. So guru, remember Pete, what does guru mean? In Sanskrit, gu means darkness. Ru means dispelling the darkness. So guru is only one. A true guru is only one who dispels the darkness. And the only way to dispel the darkness is to illuminate. And the only way to illuminate is to set you on the path of realization, which is to dissolve the ignorance. Right? So a true guru only does one thing and one thing only,
Mhm.
is to put you on the path or guide you towards realizing your true nature or your true self.
Yeah.
Everything else is
Yeah.
noise,
Yeah.
is irrelevant.
Yeah. I'll go one second back. It's the Sanskrit word you said, gu, right? Gu.
Yeah. Gu is darkness.
Means darkness. Oh, okay.
And Ru is to dispel the darkness. So Guru is somebody who dispels the darkness,
So ru means remove the darkness.
remove the darkness.
Oh, I see. Oh, that is wonderful. So when darkness is removed, then we have the realization,
Correct.
or maybe
That's
truth
correct.
actually.
Correct.
Okay.
When you let go of everything imaginable or imagining, which is false, what will remain is truth, is true.
So truth. Okay. So process of Guru is a process of finding a truth actually.
That's it. Of guiding you. So Guru's job is only one and one only. That's why
Mhm.
we say, all the scriptures also say that you have to find the right Guru. Because there are many gurus today, right? There are
Right.
thousands and millions of people. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry's mother is now a guru.
Mhm.
But for you to find the right guru is one who is going to guide you in only one thing and one thing only,
I see.
is to help you realize your true self.
Okay. I think that makes sense. Yeah. On the
So
side
people,
of
what happens? People find, people understand, people sit, but
Mhm.
where people then get lost is in the practice. And
Okay,
till
yeah.
you don't practice, till you don't implement this understanding,
Mhm.
there is no other way to experience it.
Yes, okay.
And the guru can only show you the way, can guide you, but the guru cannot experience it for you.
Right. You only use a direction. Direction. Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's very simple. It's like doing anything. The example here is, if you want tomorrow, Pete, you say, I want to become an Olympic athlete. Now, you can understand, you can read how to become an Olympic, an Olympic athlete. But if you won't implement the practices, and if you won't go out and practice and train, then can you think you can become the Olympic athlete?
No. That's an okay. I want to be Olympic.
So in the same way,
Uh-huh.
you have to practice.
On the side of this one, things comes in my mind. When we are seeking the truth or in the process of intellectual exercise, when we're engaging into that process, thought comes. Thoughts are plenty. And what is that thought? And should we, suddenly it appears.
So
And
thoughts will keep coming and going, because that's the only way, is the mode or the process of the person thinking to create. That's just thing. Thoughts are nothing but, again, a mode of expressing. What you have to question is not the thought. What you have to do is not to analyze the thought, but to ask the question, who is it that is thinking? Find the source of the thought.
Oh, source of the thought. Okay.
Practice is to question the thinker. Who am I, which is self-inquiry, is not to question the thoughts, because thoughts' job is to come and go.
Yeah.
That's it. You can't control it, because you're not in control. They are appearing and disappearing.
Yeah.
Where the inquiry is who is it that is thinking? What is the source of this thought? When you start to inquire and you can't find the source, it loses its control over you. Eventually, the I, which is itself illusionary, basically dissolves, because it is only an appearance. The very thing that is creating the thoughts is itself an illusion. The first thought, the I thought. Without the I thought, no other thoughts can be in existence. So question this I thought. Where is that coming from? And that is coming from nothing. So if it itself has appeared on its own, then it will disappear on its own. Why are you struggling with it?
Since when we sit in the meditative form, thoughts do come, although we are in a very silent mood and trying to focus on something, either distracting into the outside noise or many other things, but still thought penetrates. And although we want to avoid it as much as possible.
So don't try to avoid it. Neither try to engage with it or try to avoid it. You just try to hold on to that silence. Because the more you hold on to the silence, the lesser the thoughts will start appearing.
Okay.
Eventually, there will be no thoughts, only silence will remain.
Hold on to silence to stop the unnecessary thoughts.
Don't try to stop anything. You just hold on to the silence. Everything will stop on its own. Because your original state of being is silence. Unimaginable silence. Absolute silence. So the more you hold on to that absolute silence, which is the only thing that is real, everything else will start disappearing on its own. Because it appeared on its own.
Right. Okay. I thought, these thoughts are part of our previous experience or imagination or dream or whatever.
But whose experience? We just discussed that the I is common. You are thinking of your experience as Pete.
Right.
Pete has no locus standi in the matter. Pete is only a character in the play.
Uh-huh.
The I itself is illusionary. Your original state of being is just silence. Remember, blank piece of paper.
Right, right. So these illusionary things, uh, are they shadows?
So
Not
they're
real.
nothing. They're nothing. Blank piece of paper is nothing. What does the blank piece of paper have? It's blank.
Right. I, before this, I was thinking, even the thought itself, it has a kind of a like a shadow of the sun. We had an eclipse now. The shadow is not real. When it object passing through two things, shadow comes in and it disappears. Is it energy, or it is something, or it is just
Nothing. Pete, you're thinking too much. Stop thinking. You have to question the thinker. If the thinker itself does not exist, then how is the thinking relevant?
right? Yes, yes. Theory itself is yeah, not exist. It is only a kind of a dream or something like that.
Correct.
Right.
You are got all you have to do is remember and hold on to that silence.
Mm-hmm.
Ramanna's most famous quote is
Mm-hmm.
one line.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Silent is truth, stillness is God." If you can remember this is it. This is what reality is.
What is that? Can you repeat that?
Silence is truth, stillness is God.
Okay.
That's it. Nothing else to be read, nothing else to be known. This one line of 6 letters or 6 words
Yeah.
is what this entire thing is about. Silence is truth, stillness is God. If you can remember and abide in this, everything else is irrelevant, has no relevance whatsoever.
Guruji, when you meditate, do you lose the sense of I?
So I am now in constant meditation, Srinivas. Even while I'm talking to you, I am in silence at the back.
Mhm, mhm.
So there is no more meditative practice for me anymore. I'm always, so everything that I do from a meditative state. I don't have to make any effort um, to be in that state. So again, remember, all the effort, if it's natural, it should be effortless, correct? If anything is
Yes, yeah.
natural, it's effortless. But see how much effort you put in trying to create your individuality or hold on to it. Everything is being defined. You're making so much effort in trying to define your individuality. How can that be natural?
That is true. Every day we struggle to keep who we are.
Right?
Uh,
So how can that be
yes,
natural then?
that is true, Guruji.
All right. Should we stop here? I know we are 11:30. We can.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very interesting, deep philosophical thinking, today lecture. Um, Now the next one is on. Uh, I'll be traveling on May first week. That's why I was wondering. Uh,
So we were going to do it April 28th, but I have a conflict. So I think we'll push it to the next week after that. I think which is Isha Beta is May 4th, right?
Say it's May 5th,
May
Sunday.
5th. So we'll do it on May 5th.
5th is a Sunday. I'll be in California. I'll try to attend from there, but
Okay.
California time is different, right? 2 hours behind me.
Three,
Means
three, three. So it'll be 7 a.m., 3 hours behind.
7 hours, 7 hours, 7 o'clock. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will be at my daughter's house, so I will, look at my email at her house.
No problem. No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Good. Any other? I know, Bob, you're quiet today. Anything before we go?
Let me unmute myself. Good morning, Sri
Good
Ashish.
morning. Hi,
And
Bob.
this is a great explanation of detachment from reality and from the real world, what you explained for oneself, for stress relief or anxiety, which since this month is designated as a stress relief month, I came to know.
Right,
Uh,
right.
however, yeah, this may be a question you would answer next time when one has to, we are always pressured for time, like filing the tax tomorrow
Right.
and the household chores has to get done. And God forbid if somebody is physically limited and that becomes another burden.
Correct.
These are the things we always creates anxiety or stress. And what you explained, actually, if somebody can practice, obviously it will relieve them from stress. But in the real world, what Anil was saying, these are the things appears to us in a daily basis. And to detach, we have to do the work. We have to get things done in timely fashion. But always thinking that we are not doing it, somebody else is doing it. It is somebody else's work. We just detach ourselves so that we could be stress free. It is a very difficult task for a common individual to practice. So your methods are great. Thinking like that, what you are practicing in a daily basis and every moment, what you just said, I heard your last words. But for a physical or just a common person, this could be a real challenge unless you have come up with a theory or a practice that this is what you do every time. You may have a better explanation next time when we get together.
So remember, Bob, that this thing means I was also in the same boat as everybody else. I was also, as you call, the common man, right? Went through the same challenges that everybody has today.
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneur, his father, everything the same, right? Went through divorce, went, parents' death, right? So if I can do it, why can't you?
Yes. You are a perfect example, but how you did it is the question.
Yeah. So that is where people have to. And today also, the outside challenges have not gone away, Bob. I still have to pay my taxes. I have to do my taxes. But
Pay
there is
bills,
no,
mortgage.
right? But there is no pay the mortgage, pay the bills, prepare for these satsangs, right? So say everything is going on, but now it's the realization, or when the realization sets in, you can see that it's whether you do it or not, it's automatically happening. It has got nothing to do with you. Your character, which is in my case Ashish Kumar, that is another character, and whatever work has to get done, it gets done. It's just your fear or the false identification with this character that creates the fear that if I don't do it, then it won't get done. No, it'll still get done because it's part of the script. So you just have to move away and become the witness or the audience to the movie. Whatever is part of the movie will anyways happen, and whatever is not going to happen will not happen. You can try as you think you may. So this is where the difference comes. But it wasn't that I was born with this. I went through the same struggle. Till 42, I did not believe in spirituality. I didn't know what was S of spirituality. Every guru that I came around, I made fun of him. I thought they were all scammers. Right? So what I tell people is, look, from my journey, means this is not hard. It's not difficult. You just have to make the effort. So instead of making this big effort to be Bob or Ashish or Anil or Pete, make the effort to let go of that and see what happens. And I am a living testimony. I can tell you what happens. And you tend to believe that there is some transformation here because you're spending your Sunday mornings with me. So there is something resonating with you guys. But I have to implement it. I can't. There's one thing I can't do for you is I can't implement it in your daily life. I cannot make you experience what I'm explaining now. Maybe I can make you experience when you see me personally for a temporary period of time. But for permanence, you have to go through it.
Absolutely.
I think.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very good explanation. We need more on how to get detached and how to, lead a stress-free life. That one probably more
So,
we need.
yeah, and the good thing is, I think Isha will tell you our latest blog, which should be, I think, available to everybody on Monday, is on this, on stress, anxiety disorders, how meditation and beyond helps. So we've actually, Anil has written it. So that's the NDP's next part of the happiness series, the blog, which should be available on Monday. And the newsletter will also be available on Monday. And then the blog that I'm writing now is on mind, consciousness, and thoughts. What these actually mean.
So when we can meet person, one to one.
So I will be in Chicago. I told Anil, I think that's another thing that we should plan is from 8th to the 15th of August. So that is already set. So any
Summertime.
event. But you guys are, this door is open 24/7 to all. You're more than welcome to come and spend as much time as you want here in New Jersey.
Oh,
Mhm.
New Jersey. Okay.
You're going to California.
Yes, I can come to New
But you
Jersey.
don't want to come to Jersey.
No, I would like to come. No, New Jersey is closer to me.
So please, the doors are open 24/7. Come anytime.
Sure. Yeah. Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Bless
Thank
you
you.
all.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye bye.